Hi guys, hope you're doing well. The first component that I'm going to be covering today is about the speaking part of the IELTS exam. Now, I personally found this as one of the easier components when you compare it to the difficult ones, that is writing, but I'll be talking about writing in one of my other sessions. But right now, I'm just going to discuss about the top tips that will help you secure band 7+. It's a guarantee to secure 7+ bands in IELTS. I personally followed these tips and I got 8 and 8.5 respectively over my 2 tries in IELTS exam. Right, first things first, we need to know what happens during an IELTS exam, right? So in the speaking session, it's a 15-minute exam which is divided into 3 parts. The first part goes for about 4 to 5 minutes, in which the examiner will try to make a conversation with you. He or she will be asking you about your personal life, some general information about your hobbies, about what do you like, how do you spend your day, and what have you studied, and etc. These kinds of questions. And in the second part, they're going to be giving you a paper and a pencil and a topic to talk about. Now, you'll have 1 minute to prepare your ideas, to brainstorm your ideas and put them on a piece of paper which you can refer to during your conversation, and you'll have to talk for about 2 to 3 minutes direct. She will not stop you and you have to keep continuing with the topic. After that, the examiner will be asking you a couple of questions which are related to your topic, and that will bring you towards the end of the speaking exam. Right, so the first 3 tips that I'm going to talk about that will help you in acing your speaking exam are: smile and relax, maintain a good posture, and be polite. Alright, so what do I mean by these tips? Now, personally speaking, when I walked into my IELTS exam in the speaking component, I had zero knowledge of it, right? I didn't do any preparations. I just walked in because I've already given an IELTS exam years back, and I was confident that I can actually get a good score. But when I walked in there, I saw a lot of people actually quite stressed out. They were reading through the scripts, they were reading through the notes, they were sweating, they were just very stressed out, and the examiners can actually sense it. If you're not being yourself, the examiners can actually sense that, and that goes against you. That is very important. So what I mean by smile and relax is just be yourself. Do not try to adopt any personality which you are not. Just go out there, be yourself, and I'm pretty sure you do have a basic command of English language. So you just have to go out there and express yourself. How difficult can that be, is it? Right, so now we move on to the second point, which is maintain a good posture. Now, I cannot stress enough how important this is, because this shows how confident you are, and that is what the examiners want to see: your confidence level, your command on the English language. Now, if you go out there, please do not actually lean on your hand. Don't sit like this, do not sit like this. Keep a straight back, be confident, smile all the time, and just answer to the questions whatever the examiners are asking you, right? Please do not lean on your hand. That gives a really bad impression. And in the speaking component of the exam, in the first couple of minutes, the examiners do get an idea about your predicted band score. So if you can nail the first couple of minutes, pretty sure you can end up with a really good IELTS score, right? So now we move on to the third point, which is be polite. What I mean by that is, let's say that if an examiner asked you something but you did not understand, so what is your response going to be? Please just do not say what, sorry, no, that is a no, please do not do that. So what you can say instead is, excuse me, could you please repeat that again? Now that shows how polite you are. That shows that you are well cultured, and that is the language of English. Right, so that brings us to the third tip, which is be polite. Now, what I really mean by be polite is that if by chance, if an examiner asks you something, but you're not able to understand, so what is your response going to be? Please do not say sorry or what. That just sounds rude, and that just brings a really negative impression towards your score. What you can say instead of this is, excuse me, could you please repeat that again? That shows your command over the English language, and that puts a really good impression. So, and the overall atmosphere of this exam is in a semi-formal environment. So you're not supposed to be too formal, you're not supposed to be too casual. Just try to maintain the right balance, and just how you will basically show up for any interview, for any job interview. You do not try to be too complicated, too formal, and to try to overdo things. That goes against you. So just be yourself, be semi-formal. It's a semi-formal environment. I'm sure you can do this, right? So that brings us to our fourth tip, and in my opinion, that is the most important tip if you have to nail your speaking exam, which is paraphrasing. Now, if you ask me, that is the difference between getting an 8, 8.5, or getting a 7 or 6.5. This is the difference, right? So what I really mean by paraphrasing? Paraphrasing basically means to change the word, however, not changing the meaning of it, right? So I'll just try to elaborate more by giving you some of the examples that I was asked during my exam. One of the most common questions that are basically asked in a speaking exam are, what are your hobbies, right? So how are you going to go about that? If you just say my hobbies include playing a guitar or going swimming or going gymming, I mean, that's not wrong, but that definitely will not fetch you any more marks. That'll just get you the minimum marks. However, if you paraphrase the word favorite hobbies to say your favorite pastime, yeah, I like to play. What can you say in that? Like, my favorite pastime includes playing a guitar, going to the gym, watching Netflix, spending some time with friends. Now, you see how subtly you have changed the word hobbies to pastime. That is what makes the huge difference. I'll explain you better with the second example that I got asked in my second part of the speaking exam. The question was, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using a public transport, right? So now if you start with the advantages of using a that is basically you're just copying and pasting it straight from the question itself. That shows that you're not able to think quickly and not able to change the sentence. That goes against you. So what can you say instead is the benefits of riding a bus or benefits of riding a train is that it's much cheaper than using a cab or an Uber ride. You see how I changed the word? That just changes the whole complexity of the sentence. Now the second part of the question was the disadvantages. Now in that you can say the benefits of riding a bus includes that it's much more cheaper than ordering a cab or ordering an Uber ride. However, the drawbacks of using the public transport is etc. etc. So you see how I linked both the sentences with the word however. Or you can use many other words instead. You can use although, you can use while. These are the main linking words that helps you link a positive with a negative. That is what I used here, and how I changed the disadvantages with drawbacks. That is what I mean by the word paraphrasing. You have to paraphrase, or you have to try to paraphrase whatever is asked in the question by not changing the meaning of it, but by changing the word.